Batman is an immortal legend. The planet Avoca, a Class 5 frontier world somewhere on the edge of the known galaxy. A ship passes over the horizon, its engines smoking. Behind it, a batship assault craft opens fire, blasting the ship with lasers. The ship goes down quickly, slamming into the hard-packed earth. No, not like this! Not today! The pilot gasps as he struggles free of the crash, running away quickly to a nearby cave as he tries to find some sort of shelter from his pursuer. He stops in the cave, gasping for breath as he checks over his shoulder, but no one is following him. He runs out onto a cliff where he turns and shoots, blocking the exit with the fallen rocks. Yes, I did it. I can't believe I'm okay, he whispers to himself. But something bursts through the rocks. An armor-clad Batman. The Dark Knight's hand lashes out and grabs the pilot by the throat, lifting him easily into the air and dangling him off a nearby cliff. The pilot's eyes widen in fear as he looks back and forth between the Batman and the drop behind him. What do you want me for? I thought you hunted monsters! The pilot gasps. Batman pulls him in close. I am hunting monsters. You smuggled a man onto this planet 2 months ago. Tell me where he is! Tell me, where is Bruce Wayne? Batman snarls. Later, darkness has fallen over a nearby mining community. All of the equipment and lights have gone dark as everyone has gone home for the day. But Mayor Harvey Dent and Sheriff Bruce Wayne have arrived due to dire circumstances. The mine supervisor introduces herself as Ada V and leads them into one of the nearby shafts. They don't have to go far before her flashlight shines upon the body. All three stare at the miner, who has been completely cut in half. Have you had a chance to check your security feeds? Wayne asks as he leans down to examine the dead man. V nods, explaining that they recently doubled the security cameras in the facility, but everything was wiped. Motion sensors were disabled too. Whoever did this knew what they were doing, she says. Dent and Wayne head back outside. 3 in 8 weeks. Folks are panicking, and we've got nothing but another corpse. We're no closer to understanding what's going on, let alone putting a stop to it, Harvey hisses. But Bruce puts a hand on his friend's shoulder. Killings like this, terror and panic are the goal, Harvey. Don't give in. We'll find the person responsible. I promise, Bruce tells him. The two decide to head back into town, where Harvey can notify the dead man's family, and Bruce can continue the investigation. They turn back to their motorcycles. Miss V, do you mind waiting on site until the coroner arrives? Harvey calls out. V nods her head, and quickly, the two return to Outpost Delta, also known as Davistown. The small frontier town is dark and quiet, but something seems wrong. Bruce stops and stares at the shadows that seem to build in every corner. You all right there, Bruce? Harvey calls. Bruce nods his head, explaining that he thought he saw something. Too many late nights, I suppose, he says. Suddenly, something leaps from the shadows and slams into Bruce, knocking him to the ground. Harvey moves quickly, drawing the laser rifle from its holster on his bike. Get away from him! Harvey yells as he raises the weapon. He fires a warning shot that hits the ground between the shadow and Bruce. Suddenly, the shadow whirls and becomes fully visible in the light of the moon. Harvey's eyes widen in shock as he looks at one of the galaxy's protectors. You're the Batman, but we haven't had any shadow sightings. Why is an immortal legend here? Harvey asks as he lowers his weapon. Batman whirls back at Bruce and points at him. This man is a shadow. He's coming with me, Batman growls. Harvey raises the rifle again. What? That's absurd. Shadows don't talk. They can barely think, he points out. Batman takes a step forward, unafraid of the laser weapon that's pointed at him. Absurd? Like a famous trillionaire deciding to permanently relocate to a backwater outpost on a Class 5 world? He asks. Bruce stands, quickly explaining that he was sick of his rich, high-profile lifestyle and wanted a simpler life with more substance. I needed to streamline my life, and it worked. I'm a better man on Avoca than I ever was on Gotham, Bruce says. Harvey agrees, explaining that he's helped protect the town from beasts and bandits. He's more than proved himself, Harvey adds. But Batman shakes his head. There have been killings since he arrived. Brutal, violent, Batman growls. But Bruce points at him, realizing that only someone extremely powerful could cut someone in half like the body they saw. You've heard the rumors, right, Harvey? That the Batman has started attacking people, like that cryogenic scientist. He's gone mad and he's been hiding here the whole time. The killings, it all makes perfect sense, Bruce gasps. Batman shakes his head and raises his fist, his arm cannons starting to glow. Enough! He hisses as he fires. The energy batarangs twirl through the air, exploding against the ground and walls, forcing Bruce to leap to safety. Batman moves to attack, but the street is suddenly lit by bright headlights as a mining vehicle slams into him, knocking him through a nearby wall. Harvey and Bruce stare in shock as Ada V throws open the door. Get in, she shouts. The two get inside and she quickly hits the gas and peels away, heading out of the outpost and into the surrounding desert. So, I don't really have a plan here, V starts to say, but her eyes widen in fear as she looks in the rearview mirror and sees the Batman already following them, dirt blowing behind him as he quickly glides after their escaping vehicle. Bruce opens the side door and leans out as he fires his blaster again and again, but the Batman is too quick, firing energy batarangs at the vehicle and quickly disabling it. V slams on the brake and the mining truck comes to a screeching stop. Bruce and Harvey step outside with their blasters, but are quickly disarmed by energy batarangs. Stand down, Batman orders them. Both men slowly put up their hands, but V has had enough. The truck behind them begins to transform, turning into a mining laser that is designed to cut through the planet's hard crust. I've only heard stories about you, Batman, but I'm pretty sure this will melt you just as well as it does everything else, she calls as she pops her head out of the hatch. Batman stares at her for a moment. If you fire that here, we all die, he points out softly. Bruce takes a step forward, suggesting that Batman should leave to prove that he hasn't fallen to the darkness. But Batman shakes his head. If I leave now, you'll just keep killing. You won't be able to help it. You're nothing but the unstable void where a soul should be, Batman growls. Bruce steps closer to Batman, so the others can't see his face or hear his voice. He leans in and smiles. Oh, please. Yes, I killed those people. Yes, I absolutely loved it, he whispers with glee, explaining that he enjoys earning their trust before he murders them. But there is nothing Batman can do about it. No way he can prove it. Batman shakes his head and steps out from beside Wayne. That is a shadow. He's not Bruce Wayne, and I can prove it, Batman says. He reaches down and taps his utility belt, deactivating his Immortal Legend armor and revealing his true identity. Because I am the real Bruce Wayne, Bruce states. Harvey and V stare in shock at the man that stands before them. Meanwhile, the Shadow Bruce begins to laugh, his true nature starting to break through. Ha ha ha! Didn't think you had it in you. Oh well, it had to end sometime. This way is fun too. He snarls as the shadows begin to leak out of one side of his body, turning him into the two-faced man. Bruce transforms once more and leaps forward, tossing more energy batarangs. He leaps in and hits the shadow hard, kicking him and following it up with a punch to the face. But the two-faced man whirls away and fires an energy blast from his shadow eye. But Batman leaps around the attack. He leaps into the air and aims his attack directly at the Shadow's chest. Bat Press! He yells out. The energy kick slams into the Shadow, destroying it in a fiery explosion. Suddenly, the blast causes the cliffside to crumble, and V. Harvey and the mining vehicle begin to plummet below. Without hesitation, Batman leaps down, grabbing the two and using his grappling hook to get them back onto solid land. The battle has ended, and all is quiet on the frontier. Batman turns back to Harvey and V, who apologize for not realizing the truth. Don't apologize. It's not your fault. It's mine, Batman tells them. Suddenly, his ship lands nearby and he leaps in. And I'm going to fix it, he promises. The ship rockets away, leaving Harvey and V to watch in awe. The destiny of mankind changed in the 22nd century. Man set out from Earth to explore and colonize the stars, developing powerful engines that use dark matter to warp space-time around their ships. But this breakthrough came at a terrible cost. The discovery also permanently shattered the barrier between our universe and our universe's shadow, allowing monsters to cross into our world and terrorize humanity. In the early days of the galactic expansion, there was no way for humanity to fight back against these shadows. But suddenly, 3 powerful warriors appeared. They weren't aliens or gods. They weren't even immortal as is so widely assumed. They were just 3 exceptionally talented people. The first embraced the spirit-lifting bright half of the binding energy, closest to our universe. He named this approach the Way of the Robin. The second believed the tactics and abilities of the enemy could be used against them. He embraced the relentless half of the binding energy, closest to the shadow universe. He named his approach the Way of the Bat. And the third was pragmatic. She thought it best to utilize both approaches, soaring into the light in some moments and utilizing the dark in others. She named this approach the Way of the Nightwing. And together, they pulled humanity back from destruction. It soon became clear that we would never be free of the shadows entirely, and the 3 made a plan to ensure their legacy would always continue. They let the rumor that they were immortal spread and become received wisdom, but in truth, they simply chose successors to train in their ways and eventually adopt their mantles. 1 year ago, the mantle of the Robin was passed from Stephanie Brown to boy genius Tim Drake. 2 years before that, stunt pilot Dick Grayson took the mantle of Nightwing from Harper Row. And 2 years before that, I gave the mantle of Batman to trillionaire Bruce Wayne. Bruce had lost his parents at a young age to a shadow attack that I was unable to prevent. After this, he had the wrath and drive of a good candidate. Now, the former Batman stands in the shadows of his cave, admitting that he made a mistake in passing the mantle to Bruce Wayne. He turns and looks to his son. Bruce has abandoned his duties and left his partners to fight the shadows alone. There have even been reports about Batman attacking people, the former master says. I should have chosen you first, my son, but I feared that asking you to take the mantle would have been too much. But the young man shakes his head as he steps into the light. I am ready, father. Just tell me what I need to do, he tells him. The father nods his head gravely. There can only be one immortal legend Batman at a time. So before you can take the mantle yourself, you, Thomas Elliot, must take it from Bruce Wayne. And that was the complete story to Immortal Legend Batman, Issue 1 by Kyle Higgins. This was an amazing start to an alternate Power Rangers style Batman, and I loved it. Kyle Higgins has written a lot of Power Rangers comics, and even wrote a lot of the Shattered Grid storyline, so you know this is gonna be good. But what did you think of this story? Let me know in the comments below. And don't worry, we'll definitely be continuing this story on the channel, so be sure to like and subscribe to get notified when new videos go live. I'm Dan with Comicstorian, and we will see you next time. Rest in peace, Benny.